All right, so let's circle back because we looked at something earlier and I didn't get into it because it wasn't time. Now it is time. Binders, binder pages, essential for the organization of board games as far as I'm concerned. This was like a real breakthrough for me. Like I had pretty much locked down the organization of stuff like tokens, chits, even cards mostly, but organizing all of that stuff and organizing it all together is really hard because it's all different sizes and shapes and thicknesses. And so what I've come up with is I buy like every, you may have even seen a picture of it, I buy like every size of Ultra Pro Platinum Series pocket pages that they have. So they've got ones that are made to hold like whole issues of like, does anybody remember Beckett magazine? This was like a thing when I was a kid. I know it's still out there, but I remember being really excited about Beckett every month or whatever. You could store like a copy of that in here or a comic book or whatever, but I use it to store all sorts of stuff, manuals, parts of a game. So this is from Shadows of Brimstone, from the Blasted Waste. These are the town pages, basically, like the town locations. And so this is the kind of thing that it's only useful when you're in the Blasted Waste. It has no function other than to muck up your organization and give you more crap to have to kind of page through unless you're in the Blasted Waste and you're in a town. And so I just separated it all out. I put it into these little pocket pages. I bought binder, little clips in bulk, like 100 for like $4. And I just made my own little book out of them so that it's transportable. I can throw it across the table to my buddy without having to pull out individual pages, without having to worry about him messing up the corners and all that kind of stuff. I didn't have to laminate them or anything. You know, that's an option, but this is how I handled this particular organization challenge. And so you can see, maybe you don't, but I think you can see, I put a lot of thought into this, right? Like an unhealthy amount of thought. This was back before I had multiple kids and didn't have a leadership role at my job, so I had a lot more free time on my hands. Now, so take it to the next level. You've got your Ultra Pro binders, and let's say that you were smart and you bought a bunch of different sizes. You know, they have some that will fit miniature size cards, like the ones from X-Wing or any Arcadia Quest game, stuff like that, Zombicide. They've got ones that will fit normal, standard size cards. They've got ones that are made for coin storage, or like tobacco baseball cards, really old baseball cards. I buy them all so that I can do this. Here's a binder. This is just a crappy 3-ring binder you get at Walmart. You could buy like an $80 version of this from Ultra Pro, and it'll have, you know, special pockets and everything, but you don't need it if you just buy the sleeves and make it yourself. Boom. What are we looking at here? Look at this. These are tokens. Anybody know what game this is for? Just off the top of your head? This is for Gloomhaven. This is all the location tokens in Gloomhaven. Gloomhaven is another organizational nightmare because it has all this crap in it. So I just took all the tokens and I just found binder pages. They're all Ultra Pro pages. I like them all to be the same. I won't buy like mixed pages. You can take it as far as you want. You know, these are more expensive than your crappy kind of penny pages, but they're not going to rip like those do either. And I'm taking stuff in and out of these because the thing about Gloomhaven is when you set this up, you're setting it up for like 2-3 hours, right? You're not playing Gloomhaven for 25 minutes. So, and you're typically, you know all this crap that you need when you set it up. Now, with the kind of hidden element of Gloomhaven, sometimes you might not, if you're kind of not looking ahead or whatever. Either way, this is much, much easier than dumping all this stuff into a box or a bin and trying to dig it out. It's also easier than using even some of the other storage solutions that I will show you in this video, because you could just as easily use like a Stanley 25 organizer for this. But then those things are much more expensive than 5 or 6 of these sleeves. And so, depending on how you want to allocate your financial resources, this might make more sense. So there you've got all the tokens, and then you've got all the character cards, including all the level up cards, basically. So these aren't the standard cards, but it's all the level up cards. And then you can see I have with the character brute. These are the brute, whatever these are called. I can't remember. It's been a long time since I played Gloomhaven. And you've got the scoundrel, same thing. So when somebody levels up, you just throw this out. They find their character. They go, I want this spell. Put the other one in there. And I want one of these, and I'm going to take out, because it's like really important that you not get these cards mixed up, right? Because then your deck gets all screwed up. You see this with other games too, like Zombicide, where you don't want to dilute that deck by just dumping everything into one deck and just having like a 120 card long spawn deck, because it either dramatically increases, or depending on what you're using, increases or decreases the likelihood that you're going to run into something like an Abomination or a Necromancer. And so it messes up the game. The game's designed to be played with a deck of like 68 cards. And so you keep all these separated so that you don't have to dig around for them, and so that you can kind of put them in, pull them out, and it just keeps everything nice and clean. Obviously, I've only done this for the classes that I unlocked, and I didn't unlock any in Gloomhaven yet. So then let's take it to the next level. Here's your town cards. Now check this out. This is like a truly horrible nightmare in Gloomhaven if you don't organize your game, because you've got this town that's like constantly expanding, and you're not supposed to know what is upcoming, like what you get in the next town level or whatever. Put them all in a binder. You just flip the ones that are currently available forward. You put all the other ones backwards, so that the text of the card is on the back and you have no idea what it is, but they're numbered and they're in numerical order, so it's really easy to find card number 77, right? And then if you have multiples of the same card, you put it in the same binder. I'm really proud of this. This was a particular innovation that I thought was just genius, because it's a real pain in the ass in the core box. Try to cover this up. And then also I keep the sticker books and stuff, and like kind of random bits and bobs just in the back here. And then again, really nice, I don't like to destroy the cards in my legacy games, and so I don't. What I do is I'll put a binder page in for that card size, and I just put the cards that, like these are like your town, your city and road events. I'll just put the cards for that event into the binder. So that's another way that you can use this stuff if you want to go deep into buying sleeves and really maximize your control over exactly what is where.